Hey guys! Today's video is a study with me compilation video of everything I did on this Saturday afternoon. I started at around 1 p.m. and I finished around 9 at night. I didn't study for this entire 8-hour time block. I took some breaks in between just to relax and to have dinner. I do have timestamps in the bottom left so you get a general idea of how long everything took. So I'm starting out by doing some math problems, and this is part of my Chapter 7 review assignment in preparation for a test. This is a homework assignment, and I'm also using it as a way to study, because my favorite way to study for math is to do practice questions. Since most of this video doesn't require much explanation, I'm going to be taking advantage of this empty airspace to answer some questions. I asked you guys for some questions via the community tab here on YouTube. These questions are all related to business on social media, for example, sponsorships and free products, just so I can be more transparent and to help out any new study Instagrams, Tumblrs, YouTubes. The first question I have: when sponsorships approach you, how does it work? Do they require parental permission, signatures, or anything like that? To start off with, the company will email me and I'll make a decision whether or not I want to work with them based on whether I like their product or not. Then we negotiate an amount for the sponsorship. Once we've settled an amount and what I need to post, we have a contract, and that involves signatures. I've never been asked for parental permission. I'm not sure about the legal details of this. I'm just trusting that the companies know what they're doing since they have lawyers and I do not. The next question: how do you get subscribers and get people and brands to notice you? This is probably not helpful and not what you want to hear, but I really have no idea how to gain subscribers. I don't know of any magic secret to getting instant fame. If I did, I definitely would tell you, but I don't think there is such thing. I think the quote-unquote secret is to consistently make content that you are proud of and that you like, and the people who are interested in what you post will eventually gravitate towards your content, whether that be through friends recommending it or the YouTube algorithm picking something up randomly. I do have some tips in my Studygram advice video about when to post and how to use tags and the like to get your content more likely to be seen by other people, but again, there really is no magic secret. As far as getting brands to notice you, I'm really not sure how this works either. It seems to be kind of luck-based. I've seen people from a huge variety of popularity levels, I guess, get noticed by brands. It really just depends on who the brands find and who doesn't get seen. If you're a bit of a smaller account and it'll be harder for you to be noticed by a brand, you can just contact the brand first. You don't have to wait for them to reach out to you. They usually have their emails in their Instagram profiles, or you could DM them on Instagram, although that is slightly less professional. You can just send a polite email expressing that you're interested in working with them and see where it goes from there. The next question is: at how many followers should you be looking to be paid for your work? There isn't a set number for when you should be looking to get sponsored or to get free products. It really depends on the account, and it really depends on whether or not businesses notice you, as I mentioned earlier. I personally got my first free PR thing in December of 2016, which was about 3 months after I started on YouTube, and almost an entire year after I started on Tumblr. I don't know if that information will apply to everyone, but that's my experience. As a kind of related side note, the study social media community has grown a lot in influence lately, and businesses have started to notice that and are looking to sponsor or get free PR promotion things into our community. And of course, it's great that those provide a lot more opportunities for us students, but it's also very common that these companies are aware that we're mostly underage or young adults and we don't know as much about the world of social media marketing, so therefore it's easier to exploit us and underpay us for our sponsorships and promotions. So if you check out TBH Studying on Instagram, in her featured Instagram story, she has a thing about what rates you should expect at certain follower counts. Again, follower counts don't determine everything. It's really more about engagement on your posts, but those should give you a good ballpark range to make sure that companies are not exploiting you. The next question, what are some crucial things to keep in mind when agreeing to do sponsorships? I personally think the most important thing to keep in mind is whether or not you actually genuinely care and want to promote this thing. I know it's tempting to just take the money and promote the thing even if you don't really care, just because you need or want the money, but I think having the trust of your followers is way more important long term than just getting one sponsorship. It's easy to tell when someone's being fake and promoting something they don't really care about, so I don't recommend doing that. The next question, how do you balance your business stuff with schoolwork and other obligations in your life? I balance my social media stuff and my schoolwork, extracurriculars, and sports by doing all of the social media content on the weekends, so I film and edit and upload and take photos and schedule things all at once during the weekend. That way I don't really have to worry about it during the week. I answer emails and DMs every evening at the end of the day once I've finished all my schoolwork. This way, social media stuff doesn't really have to interfere with my other obligations. So I'm going to take a quick break from the questions and explain what I'm doing right now. I'm copying down some lecture notes that a friend sent me for AP European History because I missed a class day, so I need to make up the notes. The way we take notes in this class is an outline format, and we use a color code which is yellow for examples, green for anything related to the course framework, and blue for other important information. The next question, how exactly do sponsorships work in terms of payment? Is it a flat rate or some X money per X views? Most sponsorships are a flat rate, and most of the sponsorships that I do are flat rate as well. There are certain systems of affiliate linking sponsorships, for example, for a lot of those Instagram pen stores, but I personally am not a big fan of affiliate link sponsorships or affiliate code sponsorships because I feel that it might motivate me to promote something more than I genuinely recommend it just to get more money out of it. I'm not saying that everyone who does these kind of sponsorships are promoting things dishonestly just to get money, but I personally try to avoid these as a kind of insurance policy on myself to make sure that I'm really only telling you guys about things that I really recommend. And just to clarify two terms that I mentioned earlier, an affiliate link is a link that has a certain tag on it that will tell the company when they're checking their website analytics where the traffic source was, so who directed people to the site. And an affiliate code is a coupon code that people will type in that is specific to each influencer, which is each person who promotes the product. The way these affiliate systems work is that usually the influencer will get a commission for the sales that are made with their link or their code. Keep in mind that not all custom links or custom coupon codes are affiliate links or codes. Oftentimes, companies will just give codes to keep track of how well each campaign does. I have nothing against these codes or links, especially if they provide discounts, but it's also important to note that for stores that are particularly well known for giving % off coupons, these prices are usually inflated so that they can still make a profit even when people are using those discount codes. So if you don't use a discount code, you are essentially paying extra. Also, I know I've gone off on a tangent, but as a little tip for influencers who are financially pretty well off, for example, I still live with my parents and they cover pretty much every expense for me. I don't really need the money and I'd prefer to just help out the people who are watching my videos. One option would be to negotiate with the company. Normally for these affiliate codes, for example, the viewers get 10% off if they use your coupon and you get a 10% commission, but you could ask the company if the viewers could just get 20% off and you don't get any commission. That's something that I do whenever I do those affiliate commission codes. I know this really sounds like I'm just trying to sound like a really good person and get people to like me, but this is genuinely what I try to do, since I'm fully aware that as a kid born into an upper middle class family, I have privileges and I should try to use my privilege to help other people who might not be able to afford the little things like nice pens that just improve your life a little bit. So back to the questions that I was actually asked. Are you paid to only say positive things, or is it more of being paid for an honest review? For sponsorships, as in people are paying me to feature or review their item, I only actually accept sponsorships from companies that I genuinely like and I like the product. So I suppose all sponsorships, from me at least, are positive reviews. But they never asked me to only say positive things, they're my genuine opinions. When I get sent free things for reviewing or featuring without any payment, of course I can say whatever I want. Again, no one has ever told me to only say nice things. I don't believe that any reputable business would ever request that from an influencer. I've heard about dishonest reviews happening in the beauty industry, but that's never happened to me at least. Are giveaways a way to gain followers? I suppose they can be. For companies that ask me to do giveaways, sometimes they do ask me to require people to follow them. I personally never require people to follow me. I feel like using giveaways as a way to get people to follow you is just a way to get empty follower count, because at the end of the day, what matters isn't the number of followers you have, it's the amount of engagement you get, so views, likes, comments, things like that. If you're just starting out and want to jumpstart your following by using a giveaway, by all means do what you like, but I don't think it's an effective way to gain a long-term following. A few people had questions about how much I make from Adsense on YouTube. By the way that YouTubers get paid is by the amount of people who watch the ads before their videos, and I really am not allowed to say due to a clause in the Adsense contract. Unfortunately, that puts a legal limit on what I can tell you guys, but I do believe I can tell you that the average rate is around 0.1 cents in American dollars per view. The number does vary based on the time of year. For example, before Christmas, ads are worth a lot more money, and some people use ad block, some people skip the ads, and so on. As far as sponsorships go, again, I'm not sure about the legal details and I don't want to risk anything, but the resource I mentioned earlier from TBH Studying can give you a good idea of how much you should be asking for and how much I might be getting. So another explanation for what I'm studying right now, I'm doing HIPPOs for AP European History, which is reading through a primary source document and identifying the historical context, intended audience, point of view, purpose, some outside information, and synthesis, which is connecting it to another document. And now I'm sure you're wondering whether those links are affiliate links. The sites I link to the most often are JetPens and Amazon. So for JetPens, they're not affiliate links technically because they're not commission-based. They are tagged in a certain way so that they know where the traffic came from. And I do get a gift card from them each month to get some free things and also make some giveaways. On Amazon has an affiliate link system that's universal to everyone who applies for it. Basically, you can link to pretty much any item on Amazon and get a commission for it. There were also some questions about giveaways and how they work, so I thought I would just discuss the entire process. So this is specifically about giveaways that are for a particular brand that they asked me to do, not the kind of giveaway where I buy everything and it's not associated with a store or brand. So first, the brand will contact me and offer to send something free for PR. It's not always a request for a giveaway, sometimes it's a request for a feature, but most of the time I turn it into a giveaway because I usually don't need the item and someone else could put it to better use than me. I've never had one of these giveaways be sponsored by the brand. I usually handle everything from posting, taking pictures, picking a winner. For Instagram, I pick by copy-pasting all of the comments into random.org and then picking a random comment. And for YouTube, I use the app Rafflecopter, which automatically selects random winners for me. Anyways, after that, I will package the item and mail it directly to the person. Pro tip for anybody who's new and wants to start doing their first giveaway: make sure you factor the cost of shipping into your giveaway costs, because I've often had giveaways where the item is worth $20 and the shipping costs me $33. To sum it all up, my biggest tip would be not to get too wrapped up in wanting to get free things or trying to earn money. Those can be helpful, but what's most important is focusing on why you create content in the first place. For me, it's because I like making visually appealing things, and I also like helping other people. I hope you guys enjoyed this video and found it helpful or motivating. I upload new videos every Monday and Friday, and I post daily on my Tumblr and Instagram, which are linked in the description. See you next time!